We know what softwares like Salesforce, Gmail, Slack do, right? In case of Salesforce, it allows you to create leads, update leads, mark opportunities as read or closed won and whatnot. In terms of Gmail, they allow you to send emails and whatnot. But one thing that is common in all of these software is that they do not speak English like humans. They actually use APIs to talk to humans through the front end or to talk to each other. So what this means is that it is, non-programmers do not understand them. Even if you're a programmer, you still need to know what the API looks like when you're interacting with a different software. So meaning it's a lot of work. But with the advent of LLMs and AIs, they can understand both English and APIs. That means they can actually translate them back and forth. So if you, in case of Salesforce, if you ask, okay, create a lead in plain English, LLM can figure out exactly what API it should use, and then it translate it into API, and then translate the response back from Salesforce backend into plain English and say, hey, I created a lead in plain English. That's amazing. So now with this capability, all these softwares can talk to each other in English, because now all of these software tools can then create a kind of a layer on top of their APIs and expose all of their capabilities in plain English. But to ensure that there is no lost in translation, like, if you want to create a lead, it actually creates it and not deletes it. So you want to make sure there is some kind of a standard or a protocol. That is model context protocol, right? So with the advent of this, it makes every software follow a standard and speak in English. And it doesn't have to be just the software. It could also be databases. So for example, Tiger Data, which is a leading Postgres database, they have exposed all of their capabilities through their own MCP layer. So now you can create tables, create schema, and all of that through through just plain English. So let me show you a quick demo here. I'm going to switch over to my cursor. And then I'm going to ask it, hey, can you tell me all the database instances in my account? Okay, so now I asked it a question in plain English. In order to actually get this information, you would have written some kind of a SQL query, right? But now, because of the MCP layer, Cursor, the tool that I'm using, can now speak in English, and then Cursor is connected to the Tiger data through MCP layer, right? And then the AI behind the scenes is translating it back into appropriate SQL and then get the information back. So it's so amazing, right? So now everything, not just the software layer, even the tech stack themselves, each one of them can all talk to each other really easily. And that's why MCP is becoming such a big deal. And every technology, starting from the top SaaS layers all the way to databases and everything else in between, will be using some form of MCP layer so that agents can now actually interact with all of them, right? That's MCP. That's Model Context Protocol. Thank you.